If you think Sydney Swans, I think we've always thought Skilton, Bedford, Kelly, Goods, just to name a few. I think the name Kennedy now sits comfortably alongside of them. And for that, Josh, congratulations. It's been an amazing journey, a fantastic career. Congratulations. You absolutely did it all.
Well, thank you. I'm so grateful. I've said it 1,000 times to the football club for taking me in 13 years ago. I remember as clear as day sitting down with Roosie and George Stone, and I was blown away in the fact that they wanted me to come up to Sydney. I came up without any expectation, but to have a crack and see how it went, knowing that it'd be a good experience if it didn't work out. And I think the club has just given me so much over the course of my time, and I couldn't be more grateful to everyone involved, the players, past, present and future. I've been encapsulated by the story of the Sydney Swans, the values and the people that have set the path before me, Jared, such as yourself and names that have been mentioned tonight. I've embraced that as my own, and I've wanted to, I guess, impart that on this current playing group and the future as well. And it's just something that I'm going to be eternally grateful for and attached to as long as I live.
There's not much more to say after that. You raised the recruitment to Roosie. John was here as well, and the transition was not far away. But let me just go back a little bit. The 13 games you played with Hawthorn. Frustration, was the Kennedy name in any way a weight to bear? But it must have been frustrating, and you just needed to get an opportunity.
It was frustrating that I wasn't getting as much an opportunity as I would have liked, but I understood it as well at the time. They were a great side. They had a lot of similar players, and I'm sure there's players in the room for our team that are going through a similar thing. And sometimes you just need an opportunity, a circuit breaker, and the Swans gave me that. Not only did they give me that, the support and confidence instilled from the leaders at the time, Kirky and Bolts and Jared, just allowed me to really flourish. It was a pretty simple roadmap. It's been the same, and we try to carry it on, and it's a big reason why this football club's so successful. I just wore that with me and tried to give back to the faith that was shown in me that time.
Well, you grabbed your opportunity in 2010. You finished third in the best and fairest. In 2011, you finished second in the best and fairest. And then the magical year of 2012, a premiership, and you finished first in the best and fairest. Consistency has been one of your great hallmarks.
Yeah, that was a special year, 2012. Obviously, I met Anna at the start of that year, again, it comes down to the people around you, the coaching staff that continually push you, the support staff. So much goes into making a football club work, and often it's the people that don't get recognised that are the ones that are the heartbeat and certainly help me do my job. And that's been more evident in the last probably 3 years, given the circumstances that we've faced in the world, and the people that just sacrifice time and time again to allow us players to be able to play and just focus on training and performing our role. It's a credit to them more than anything.
But I want to focus on your consistency. We're in front of a young group of players, and for them to elevate themselves to champion status, they're going to be judged on their average. And just to make the point a little bit clearer, I've spoken about your first 3 years. In your fourth year, 2013, you finished third in the best and fairest. 2014, second. 2015, first. 2016, you won your third Bob Skilton medal. 2017, you were fourth. 2018, you were fifth. Then you started to trail off a bit, 10th, 8th, and I'm not sure how tonight's going to go. At this stage, I think you're in a little bit of strife. But consistency has been one of your great hallmarks. Give us a rare insight from a champion as to what it takes to be so consistent.
I think I said yesterday to a few of the staff, it's just a matter of staying humble and staying hungry, always wanting to try to improve. But again, it doesn't happen on your own. I was fortunate enough to have amazing leaders when I was coming through that set the example in terms of how to train, how you go about the day-to-day workings of a professional footballer. And any advice that I can give to our young players now is irrelevant, because they have, at the moment, got still amazing leaders and players around them, like Parksy and Ramps and Millsy, Bud, Paps, that are they're setting the example, and that will carry on. And I'm as excited as anyone about the future of this football club for that reason.
Well, take us back to the last flag. It was John's first and your first, 2012. It must have been a magical year. What are your memories of it?
The memories of that year? No, it was an awesome year. I was in my third year up at Sydney. I was having a lot of fun, just playing, learning, getting better. We'd train hard. We enjoyed each other's company. It's no different to what it is now, and what I see amongst the playing group now. We were able to achieve the ultimate success, which was fantastic. And yeah, I'm sure it's just around the corner for this playing group.
It was against Hawthorn, and my understanding is, despite the fact that your dad was the president of the Hawthorn Past Players, he was barracking for Sydney, but your grandfather definitely wasn't. Did it cause a split in the family?
Yeah, John Senior, he had to put on he had to put on a brave face for the Hawthorn faithful. I felt deep down that he was very happy with the result, and you could tell by the smile on his face when my name was presented to receive the medallion. No, look, it was never, I've said it 1,000 times, it was never a burden for me, the family name, the connection to Hawthorn. I've been incredibly privileged to have such amazing support network in terms of my family, and I guess counsel in that regard to people that have been there and done that and experienced the highs and lows that come with a professional football career.
You've clearly, from what we saw tonight, got an amazing relationship with the coach, John Longmire.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know where to start, Horse. Apart from my dad and grandfather and yourself, you're the three biggest influences, male influences in my life, because my mum certainly is one of the most resilient people you'll know. But when I first walked in, and he was my midfield coach actually in my first year, and then to grow and experience the highs and lows together, he continually challenged me, supported me. I will absolutely miss our conversations, whether that be about family, footy, not so much fashion, mate. Nike, you have to make some bigger hats to fit your head. No, in all seriousness, he's an incredible person, an unbelievable balance between being so passionate and caring, but challenging you to be better every day. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much.
Your demeanour on the field's always been of great interest to me. You're a super competitor. I think you've got the record of the most contested ball and most clearances in your time. But you're also super respectful. There's never any white line fever. I never see you get involved in argy-bargy. And that certainly doesn't marry with your Italian heritage as well. So how does that all work out?
Well, I'm not too sure. No, it's the way I was always taught to play the game, was go hard at the ball and don't worry about the stuff on the periphery. Always shake your opponent's hand at the end of the game. And it's as simple as that. My grandfather did tell me, because I was a bit slower than some of the players around here, was to run with my elbows out like that. So maybe that's helped a little bit. But overall, yeah, till I got reported in my first ever NAB Cup game for Hawthorn. I got let off that though, and my last ever game. But apart from that, it was a pretty clean slate.
What about some of the players? You've spoken about John. You went through two eras in many respects. You went through with some of the greats of that premiership era that are greats of the game, and you've now come through this other era where you're surrounded by hopefully an emerging group of greats.
Yeah, I think in my first retirement speech, Horse, which was a while ago, one of many, I referred to a lot of the players that I played with in the past. You know, Macca, I see you tonight, Goodsey, Kirky, Bolts, you know, champions of the game. I could go on, and great teammates, great role players. LRT is in the room, and I consciously didn't name any of the current players because I didn't want to leave anyone out. But you know, as much as I'll go back and be able to tell my kids and reflect on the time that I played with those players and Buddy Franklin, I've got no doubt in my mind that I'm going to be looking back and say I played with Dane Rampy and the stories there, and Luke Parker and Callum Mills and Errol Goulden and Justin McInerney, Tom Papley. Like, it's an amazing group of people, amazing team, amazing players that are so driven and united and wanting to get better. And I'm going to be, I said it before, I'm going to be their biggest fan next year and beyond.
Can you talk to me about this footy club? Because this footy club has grown exponentially over the 40 years it's now been in existence. And I was there on the day when you ran a lap of honour against Collingwood about 8 weeks ago. And the place was absolutely jam-packed, 48,000 people, which is testament to where this club is at. And you've been very much part and parcel of building that particular club. You must be proud of the club you're leaving right now.
I'm incredibly proud. I'm super proud to be part of that and see it grow. But I'm also acutely aware that I've only been a very, very small part, and I'm grateful to have been privileged enough to be a part of it. And there's so many people, I said, that make it work. And I guess you don't really realise how good things are until you're out of it, or you go to another organisation and see how it's done differently. So as much as I'm proud to be a part of it, I'm more grateful than anything that I am a part of it, and that the lessons that I've learned and the people that I've met and the values that have been instilled in me over the last 13 years will carry me on into a future that I'm pretty excited about.
This year is a memorable one in many ways. Disappointing for you, your hamstrings, but it's been a great year for many other reasons.
Yeah, it has, and I you know, despite personally not being able to play as much as I would have liked, I've really enjoyed it. As I said, the playing group are a special group of young men, so united, so driven, and love each other's company, and yeah, to see them grow, to have that experience, I guess one step removed from the ins and outs and the furnace that is match day, has been allowed me to sort of soak it in and just see it evolve over the course of the year. And as John alluded to, where it's come from, perhaps 2 or 3 years ago, to where it is now, it is extremely exciting.
You had a different perspective on football this year. You were sitting on the bench as the injury sub a fair bit. You were sitting next to John, who seems to have calmed down a fair bit when he goes onto the bench, I've got to say. But did it give you any insight into ambitions towards a coaching future at some level?
And not sitting next to John, it didn't, no. Next to the others, though, it may have. No, I did really enjoy it. I must admit, I loved it because I was so invested in the playing group, and they took me for the ride more than anything. They carried me through the year and allowed me to enjoy it as much as they did. But yeah, you know, it's a huge job coaching. Head coaches, obviously, you know, you'd be crazy to want to do that. But assistant coaches, you know, what they do, the amount of work and hours they put in, it's a bloody tough job, along with all the support staff. So, you know, I got to experience the cream on top without having to worry about making the cake. So I'm not exactly sure how that'd look, but yeah, I'm not sure.
And what about the style of footy? The game certainly evolved this last couple of years. Rule changes have helped the ball move a little bit more freely, as against probably back when you first started, it was in that real congestion era. Yeah,
it's just the evolution of the game. It's changed. It's opened up a little bit more. The scores might have been a bit higher this year, but you know, at the end of the day, the same statistics, contested possession, pressure rating, you know, your team defence. They're the things that, you know, if you look at the top four over the course of the last X amount of years, are the ones that really stand the test of time. So, as much as the game's going to change and evolve in certain ways, you can tweak it here and there. The core of what makes a team successful is always going to be the same.
I want you to be able to debunk a myth or, in fact, correct a potential fairy tale. How important are ruckman in centre clearances, given you are the centre clearance king? With great respect to the ruckman in the room.
No, very important. Very, very important. And I've been fortunate to play with some greats. So, yeah, they're your best friend at times, that's for sure.
The ruck is an interesting position. We saw Geelong challenge everybody with their use of rucks. Do you think that's going to change through the year?
I don't know, Jared. I haven't given too much thought to the tactics of the game and how Geelong exposed or used it. Potentially. But I think if you've got someone that can put the ball where the midfielders want it, that's a huge asset.
It was a disappointing end to a fantastic season. You've got the players in the room. Would you like to talk to them about the next year?
Oh, we've spoken a fair bit about it over the last few days. I think Dane summed it up pretty well. Parksy summed it up very well, and obviously Horses and Andrew have summed it up too. It's a bloody hard game.
Yep.
If it was easy, everyone would do it, but it's not. And sometimes the hardest things is just doing the basics over and over again and starting again after a game like that. And as they said, this is just part of their story. It's certainly not the end. It's the end for me, but for them, it's just part of their journey. And every experience will just harden the team. And if you look at it as a learning experience, continue to get better and grow. And I'm sure, given how united everyone is, not just the playing group, but the support staff, the coaching staff, the fans, the board, everyone involved in the footy club, how united everyone is, I'm sure that we're going to continue to get better.
So what's next? I saw you entering into the commercial world. Have you got any other challenges that you'd like to pursue in the next year or three?
No, a little bit like Colin. I'm just going to take a bit of time to decompress, I guess. I've been really so invested in the last few weeks and focused on that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to ending the retirement parades, Horse, and and then taking some time just to reflect and get around and thank everyone individually and personally, because there's so many people that have contributed to myself and my success over the years, and then work out what's next.
I was doing some numbers today and just wondering if I could find a challenger to your family as the number one three-generational family in the competition. And I went through the records. John Senior, 164 games played, 412 coached, 4 best and fairest, captain 5 years, 3 premiership as coach, AFL legend. John Junior, who's in the room, 241 games. John, where are you, John? Stand up for us so we can all have a look at you. Oh, you're standing, okay. 241 games, 4 premierships, Hawthorn Hall of Fame, and collectively, you add yours to it, as a threesome, you've coached 412 games, you've got 8 premierships, you've played 595 games together, 7 best and fairest between you, 3 All-Australian, 1 Gary Ayres medal, and 1 AFL legend. So I think it's pretty fair to say that the Kennedy name over 3 generations is the number one name in this competition, of which you are a great part. You ever done the numbers yourself?
No, I haven't. No.
Do you reckon you got your old man covered?
Hey?
You reckon you got your old man covered?
Not in the most important one.
Yeah,
he reminds me of.
Probably going to tell you that.
Yeah.
Look, it's been a fantastic time for everybody as a Sydney Swans supporter to watch you arrive, to flourish, to grow, and to finish your career as what will officially be recognised, I'm sure, down the track as a legend of this club. Congratulations, and why don't you take the floor and have a minute or so to thank anybody you'd like to talk to.
No worries. I will just take a minute because it's a special night, and we've got a special award coming up, but thanks very much, Jared. One thing that sort of struck me when you were introducing me was that you said that, my achievements or my journey at the Swans and how I've left it is due to me and me alone. I certainly challenge you on that, because that's not the case. It's to have a long and successful career that I've had. It's taken so many people that have supported me along the journey, from my family, mum and dad, my brothers and sister, my extended family, my cousins and aunties and uncles and everyone that are just there, and everyone knows, you go through the ups and downs, you get a nice message, and people out there care for you. Anna, my wife, for the last, how many years? 6 years, 7 years, and I met you in 2012, and it's been a fantastic journey, and you've always supported and been there for me, and a lot of sleepless nights and waking up with the kids, and whether it was going on hubs or whatever it was, you always were very pragmatic and knew you could have it all covered, given your sacrifices you've made without having your family around. So thank you so much. And my friends, Jake wanted a special message tonight, so he's got one. But no, my friends back in Melbourne. But look, overall, I just want to thank each and everyone in this room for allowing me to be part of something so special, for allowing me to grow and learn and impart your values and wisdom on me. And as I think I said at the beginning, for the people that set the foundations long before I got here, the people that taught those to me, and the people that held me accountable along my journey, and the fans and everyone that supported me on the way. Thank you so much. We are in a very, very special place, and I think I've said it 1,000 times, but I leave here tonight, and I leave my playing career with a heart full of love and gratitude for the Sydney Swans Football Club, the AFL, but more importantly, the Sydney Swans and South Melbourne Football Club. So thank you very much.